You've been waiting for a long time. Maybe it is a job, a diagnosis, a door that hasn't opened, a person who hasn't come back, a prayer you have prayed so many times the work have gone smooth from handling, like a con you have carried in your pocket for years. And here's what nobody warns you about waiting. It doesn't just take time, it takes something out of you. You are wearing down in a place you can point to on a map of your body. Then somebody hands you the verse. They that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. And inside you, you think, I have been waiting. So where is the strength? I've heard that verse my whole life. It never touches my tiredness, not really, until the year I actually needed it to. Nothing new got added. The same old line finally started to carry the weight. Not a new fact about Isaiah, a verse that finally holds. Let's be honest about what waiting does to a person. It isn't the hard thing that breaks you. Most of us can carry a hard thing. We have proved it. What wears you down is not knowing when. Give a man a heavy load and tell him it is 2 miles, and he walk it. Refuse to tell him how far, and watch how much faster he tires. Same weight, different man. Uncertainty costs more than the burden. So you start doing what we all do. You brace, you hold your life at the edge of your seat, checking the phone, rereading the message, scanning for the sign, and that engine runs on you. It burns your fuel day after day and never once moves the car. So when you finally say, God, I'm so tired, hear this carefully. Some of that tiredness is your body, and your body needs real care. But a lot of it isn't the waiting itself, it is what you have been doing while you wait. Now we quote Isaiah 40:31 on coffee mugs and graduation cards. But look who God first said it to, because it wasn't to people with mild impatience. It was spoken to exiles, a nation captive in Babylon whose waiting had gone on so long they stopped expecting an ending. Their city was rubble, their temple gone. A whole generation had been born in a country that wasn't theirs, waiting on a promise their grandparents had died holding. And listen to what they finally said out loud. Isaiah 40, verse 27. My way is hid from the Lord, and my judgment is passed over from my God. In today's words, God isn't seeing this. God has moved on. My case got lost on his desk. And notice God doesn't scold him. He let it be written down and kept forever. The complaint of a tired believer made it into scripture, which tells you what God can handle from you. But then he answers, and his answer is not what you will expect. If it were up to us, the answer will be a date. 6 more months. Hold on. That's what we want. Just a number. God doesn't give them a number, He gives them Himself. Verse 28. Hast thou not known, hast thou not heard that the everlasting God, the Lord, the Creator of the ends of the earth, findeth not, neither is weary? He findeth not, neither is weary. They said, we are exhausted. He said, I am not. That answer lands deeper than a date, because the real crisis was never the calendar. It was the fear underneath you are holding this alone and your gripping is going. That fear can be answered by a number, only by a person who doesn't run out. So the next verse points straight at you. Verse 29. He giveth power to the faint, and to them that now have might he increaseth strength. Not to the strong, to the faint. Being empty doesn't disqualify you here, it qualifies you. But they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. We hear wait and picture a waiting room. That time until the real thing starts. The Hebrew word here is kavav. You may have heard it. Means a rope pulled tight. I'll use that rope too, but be honest, that's my image, not a Hebrew lesson. What it actually does is quieter, stronger. Kavav always leans for someone. You never just wait. You wait for a person, like a watchman waiting for a dawn he can see yet. So let me keep the rope, but move to the part that carries the weight. A rope is tense only because it's tied to someone heavier than itself. The strength was never in the fiber, it was in the knot. And that changes the verse. It isn't outlast and you will get strong. Strength comes from who you stay tied to while it passes. You felt this. Two people wait through the same year. One comes out bitter, the other comes out deeper. Same waiting, a different person held on to. The waiting never renewed them. The one they were tied to did. A rope holds nothing on its own. Everything depends on what's on the other end of the knot. Now look at how the promise finishes. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. Eagles, then running, then walking. Read quickly. That sounds like a letdown. Honest readers have heard that line more than one way. Here's where I've landed. Walking is Tuesday. Walking is the ninth month. Nothing on the calendar. Nothing in the inbox. No one clapping. Walking is doing the ordinary faithful thing with no evidence anything is moving. Soaring is a mountaintop. Real, but nobody lives there. Running is a sprint toward a finish line that you can see. Nobody runs for years. Walking is what you do for years. That's why I've come to believe that's the summit. Anybody can feel carried on the mountaintop. It takes the deepest strength there is to keep walking a flat gray road and not faint. So the verse doesn't lose altitude. It climbs. Remember, even strong young men utterly fall. Then comes that stubborn, but God saved the greatest promise for the least dramatic day. Because that's where most of your life is lived. That's where He meets you. So, what does this look like on a Tuesday? One, stop bracing and start attaching. Bracing is scanning, refreshing, rehearsing, watching the door. Attaching is small. Today, tell him one true thing about who he is out loud. Not a feeling, a fact. You are not tired. You have not lost my case. You are still working. That is not positive thinking. That's tying the rope to something that holds. Two, let the waiting be a place you live, not a hallway you're stuck in. The exiles were told in Jeremiah 29 to plant gardens in Babylon while they waited, not freeze their lives waiting for the good part. So, plant something. Do the ordinary faithful thing today, even if it isn't what you are waiting for. 3. Change the question you carry. Stop asking, how much longer can I hold on? That question measures your strength and it comes back low. Ask instead what I am holding on to. One question wears you out, the other one renews you. So if you are worn out in a way sleep doesn't fix, hear this before you go. And if that tiredness has sat on you for months, let a doctor or a counselor look at it. That isn't a small faith. That's taking care of a body God made. You are not failing at waiting. You have been carrying it with your own arms. Arms never meant to be the thing that holds. The everlasting God does not get tired. He does not lose your life, and He has not moved on. He may not give you the day to day, but He is offering you Himself for the walk. And that's the promise that outlasts every mountaintop. You don't have to soar this week. You just have to walk and not faint, and you will not walk it alone. I'm Norman. This is Faith is Fire. Faith isn't fragile, it's forged in fire. I'll see you in the next one.